Hello there and welcome to Living in the Lowcountry. I am Jean Watson, a local realtor, and I love sharing with you different areas and neighborhoods and places within the greater Beaufort, South Carolina area so that you can fall in love with Beaufort the same that I have. Today we're going to visit a neighborhood that has a special place in my heart, and it's called Pigeon Point. The reason I say that about Pigeon Point is when my husband and I were deciding if we wanted to move to Beaufort from Ohio, we decided that we would visit for 5 to 7 days at a time. We'd go and we wanted to stay in different areas, come at different times of the year, just to sort of try on Beaufort and see if it was for us. Well, the very first place that we stayed on our first visit was a bed and breakfast in Pigeon Point. What I love about Pigeon Point is its location and its feel. It's a great location, very close to downtown, so you're close to restaurants, you're close to shopping. It's very accessible, so it's to the side of the National Cemetery and just above Boundary Street. So you're a great location, and it worked wonderfully for us because it was a central place that we could then get to Ladies Island, get to Port Royal, get to Beaufort, get out to Hunting Island. We could go all the places that we wanted to just, again, get that feel for it was Beaufort for us. Pigeon Point is nestled between the Beaufort National Cemetery and the Beaufort River, which is part of the intercoastal. So there's a boat ramp and a public park, which I'll talk more about later, but there also is, you're close by to a city pool and also city tennis courts and things. So you're within lots of public areas that you can take advantage of. What I like about Pigeon Point is the homes are small old bungalows, and they also can then range to large waterfront properties. It just sort of depends on where you are and which type of home you're looking for. Beaufort has a wonderful network of public parks. There's probably 20 of them. That doesn't include those on Ladies Island or St. Helena or, of course, Hunting Island, which is a state park. And of those 20 or so here in Beaufort, 10 or so are reservable. So this park here in Pigeon Point, you can reserve. And whether it's, kid's birthday party or a family reunion or a work get-together, it's a really lovely place that you can get together, enjoy in the Lowcountry. I'm gonna walk and turn you around a little bit so you can see while I talk. So in addition to the grounds, there are public restrooms that are open during park hours. There's also lots of fun things for the children to play on. I was speaking with a mom who was pushing her little girl who had conked out. She was pushing the little girl in the stroller, and she drives here from Ladies Island in order to have access to this lovely shaded park with lots of things that are accessible to her maybe 3-year-old or so. I'm going to take a walk and you can see the grounds. Pigeon Point is an area, it's a neighborhood, so it is not a place that has a HOA or any sorts of fees. You're part of the city of Beaufort. They do allow short-term rentals, and which is how we ended up doing our bed and breakfast stay. So some of the properties are used in that way, but most are single-family homes, and many have been lived in by the same family for years and years and years. One of the things I love about Pigeon Point is that they have a neighborhood art walk every year. So I'll put a link to the 2024 tour, but there's 8 to 10 to 12 artists who live in Pigeon Point, and what they do is they get together and they open up their studios so that you can do a self-guided walking tour and visit each of the different studios. And they range from painters to weavers to people that work with different textiles, quilters. It's just a neat facet of what's sort of a quirky, artsy, nice old area of Beaufort. Pigeon Point has some interesting history to it. The first YMCA of Beaufort was located in Pigeon Point. There was a World War II prison of war camp located in Pigeon Point. It was there for only a year, but there is a historic marker there. As you'll see as we drive around, there really is a wide range of types of homes in Pigeon Point. I helped a client buy a little 2-bedroom, 1-bath, I think maybe 900 square feet bungalow. They use it as a weekend vacation getaway place and they absolutely love it. I've also been in friends' home. They bought an old ranch, took it down to the studs, redid absolutely everything and created a beautiful waterfront home on a 1-acre lot, and it's just a stunning place. Those clients of mine that bought that little 2-bedroom, 1-bath bungalow, what they love about the area and why they decided they wanted to look in Pigeon Point was because you're always by water. So you're going for a walk in the evening, you're taking the dog out, you're driving downtown to go get breakfast. You are right there on the intercoastal and can see it through the streets or behind houses. So even if you aren't on the water, you're living amongst a water area, and it's very, very, very pretty. This is a park just right above the Pigeon Point boat launch. Curving around the Beaufort River and lovely little area you can go stand, sit, watch, throw crab net, whatever you want to do. I, for one, am going to sit in a swing and swing. Thanks for staying with me to learn about Pigeon Point. Again, it's one of my favorite places. If you'd like to learn about Pigeon Point or have questions for me, please reach out. I've got my email address and my phone number on my page, but I'll also put it right here. So please reach out. I'd love to hear from you, and also would welcome suggestions on other areas you might like to learn about. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.